Hello? Sam, I can't hear you. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's because I have my audio going through my phone, so I gotta.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to be like, oh, I don't have to add my phone yet, but doesn't work. Alrighty. How are you, Rachel?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're making a necklace today. I don't know. I guess we've done necklaces recently, but it feels like we don't do a lot of necklaces for some reason to me. Rachel ponders.
I
So
think it's because we've just done so many bracelets and stuff in the last. I'm like looking at my drawer where I shove all the past projects.
Yeah, we've done a lot of bracelets. We've done a lot of earring projects, but we've done
Yeah.
sea glass necklaces. We did double drilled, other double
Yeah, we
drilled.
did some necklaces. Necklaces take longer a lot of the time, especially because I mean, not so much anymore, but like before, when I was primarily doing just wire work, I mean, the necklaces take so much longer.
Yeah,
It's not
they do.
feasible in an hour.
But I love the design idea you have for today because there's so many ways to spin on it. Will you tell us a little bit about?
Yes, you even had some ideas, and I'm like, I'm going to stick with this. I was like, Sam can make his own way. We're going to do it my way first.
I sure will.
So the necklace looks a little bit interesting on the table. But let me tell you a little bit about the design before we get started. This necklace is strung on 2 different sizes of softflex. You can use the same size, but either way, it's going to be 2 strands. And unless you're using really big beads, we're going to crimp and cut one off. I did it this way because I wanted the medium-sized softflex to give it like some real stability in here. And then we'll use the fine to get the more flowiness of the waves of the necklace, but it's not so stiff that it doesn't flow and that it pushes the other ones out of the way. I don't know if hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah,
but then
totally.
also
I
the reason,
I feel like Sarah Ayler would love this. I love how you made it basically the illusion of 1 strand turning into 2 strands. I feel like she would be all over this.
I'm sure I watched one of her tutorials at some point that showed me how to cut off because I was like, can I do that? Is that
Absolutely.
A thing? So part of the reason I did it this way is because, and this was one of my struggles when thinking about how to make a necklace with the double drill beads, is that I want to make sure they lie the right way. So if you had made them all like this, when the necklace goes around, I just feel like it would curve weird if it was all like the double drills would flip this way and that. So the way I've designed this necklace is to where this part is basically a collar like you would have on a shirt, and then this is just around the back of your neck. So it lays beautifully like this. I tried it on my boyfriend. He's the best. And it looked great. It looks a little weird on here, but it looked great on him. And I also had, you can attach a pendant to it. You can attach as many as you want. You can do as big of waves as you want or as little of waves. If you have extra fine softflex, what is this? Very fine. I didn't test. I don't use this one that often because I feel like not that many people have it. I didn't test. This might go through my tiny beads twice, but I didn't want to stress the tiny beads out too much, you know.
They've
tiny gems
on their plate. They're busy enough.
I know. I think this is going to be a fun skill. And again, if you have like extra fine, it'll go through your beads. Like you can totally adjust how you want to do it. So for this project, we're going to use medium and fine softflex. If you only want to use one size for both strands, use the fine because the medium doesn't wave like this. I tried it. It doesn't look as good this way for the waves. It's very stiff.
You have a request to try on your necklace. We want to see how it lays.
Oh, okay. I put a nice lobster clasp on that I may or may not be able to do. Let's see. I feel like with long hair, I usually just end up clasping my hair instead of and I'm bringing it the wrong direction. I gotta like not look at it so I do it right. There we go.
Oh, wow. It's like a perfect collar necklace. Wow.
I know. I told you there was a reason I made it this way. It just looks so funky on the table. But it's fun, and the waves like stay this way. I thought a lot about how I didn't want them to like flip around or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the best way to do that was tapering the necklace down.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So I have a really fun combo I'm excited about today. And another design, I don't want to say alteration, but like suggestion you had, Sam, was using bigger beads. So you could definitely try out bigger beads. I did the bigger ones up here and the smaller ones down here because I didn't want, I wanted this to be like an accent to the main necklace part, if that makes sense. I didn't want the waves to take over the whole thing. That's why I did 2 different sizes. But I mean, you could play with this design so much. You could add more double drills. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, so the idea I was having so far is the first double drill I found in my stash were these.
I don't have those.
You don't have the lapis?
Mm-mm.
I don't even know if I have any in the shop. Yeah, there's none left in the shop. We do have the double drills in like 8 different stones right now. But
yeah, that's another reason why I picked this.
Because I have the ones that you're using. That's smart.
No, I meant that's why I picked this project, because I know
oh yeah.
So
and I'd love to be able to like mix in labs with the lapis, and then I also made some of your lace pieces.
You know, it's really funny because I was thinking of another way to make a necklace with the double drills, and I came up with something similar to the lace pieces.
Yeah, well,
so
well, at first I wanted to put the lace pieces on the lower strand, but now I love how your design has that like shape like this. There's 3 shapes that are a U, or like a cup. What if I had it in the upper part of that cup?
That would be so cute. That would be like an extra like lace effect to it.
Like a little accent.
Yes.
So that's my idea.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So we're going to start with a piece of the... My brain just stopped working. Okay, let's go. Come on. We're going to start with a piece of the medium softflex.
Okay.
And you can cut it if you want. If we're going to cut it, I would suggest making it a few inches longer than you want your ultimate necklace to be. So I'm going to do like 20 inches.
And is this going to be our inner strand or the lower strand?
This is the upper strand.
Okay.
Now I need a ruler. I have them all hung up so that I don't lose them. But
smart.
Still losing them. I think it's just that I haven't found them all yet. I have a billion rulers. You can never have too many rulers. 14 and 6 is 20.
I know, we're always looking for more rulers in the shop. We have to like measure like the chain, or I don't know. I need to get a ruler that's longer than 12 inches because I'm constantly measuring how long strands are when I'm listing. And I'm always being like, okay, 12 plus 2, 12 plus 3. I'm like, I literally could solve this issue in 4 seconds if I ordered like an 18-inch ruler.
Exactly. You can order, I have a pack of rulers that I had gotten all together, and it came with like 10 different sizes. It's my favorite.
That's beautiful.
They're great. And then you just put like a tack on the wall and you can hang them. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So this necklace that I'm going to make today, I don't think I want to put an extender chain on. I'll definitely show you that. But so I'm going to try to do it a little bit longer. But we'll see. I don't usually use toggles. I almost always use like a lobster clasp or a hook. But we'll see. So I'm also going to work from the spool on my fine softflex. I know I always feel guilty when I cut it off the spool because I feel like Lynn was like, that's a no-no. And I learned my stringing from Lynn, and now I'm like scared she's gonna come after me.
I think you'll survive. The wrath of Lynn is strong, but it cannot conquer you.
It's terrifying. So one thing I will say is if you cut a lot more than you think you're going to need, then you can use it for some of our double drill earring projects, or there's tons of tutorials on Softflex's website that other Sarah's done. And so I've been saving like all of my little pieces so that I can use them for smaller projects, and then I feel less guilty about it.
Hi, is other Sarah Ayler? Is you differentiate Sarah Lovecraft and Sarah Ayler?
Yes, I'm sorry, but I forgot how to pronounce her last name for a moment, and I didn't want to get it wrong.
Oh, I feel like if she sees this, she'll get a kick out of that.
That's like anytime I don't want to say anyone's name, it's not because I forgot their name, it's I forgot how to say it. I'm going to use my little these thingies, which I didn't think I would use or like, but
Bead stopper.
Yes, but I'm going to use them. You could also use like a binder clip or something, or probably some tape. I'm not sure because I've been using the bead stoppers. So I'm just going to pull out a bunch of the softflex fine, which is what I've clipped to here that's still on the spool. And I'm pulling out more than the length of my medium because the waves are going to make it longer, obviously.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you can taper down as much or as little as you want. But I'm not going to crimp anything until the end. So that's why I'm using my stopper, because that would require a lot more measuring than I ever do when I'm designing. So
yeah,
so we're going to start
about, like, ratios on this one, because I'm about to go into this and I'm just like, uh-oh, how do you know exactly how much? I'm going to be
honest. I counted my beads. So I'll measure it when I do it for you, but I counted the beads, the big beads, and then I measured the bottom part. So I'll give you that so you know the exact ratio that I have, but you can play around with it. This design's really easy to play around with, and I'll show you.
Okay. So
we're going to start with our taper just to get it started. So I used 5 of these are probably 3.5 millimeters. I know my other ones were 3.4 millimeters. I'm using my favorite quartz that you've had in the shop previously.
Yes.
This is my favorite. I have a billion of them, so I was like, we need to use this today. I got a bunch of itty bitty beads, and I need space for them.
It's time to use the rutile quartz.
Yes. Well, this is the mixed quartz.
Yeah, that's what originally I like bought it as, but I've seen it in like other cuts and whatnot and labeled as rutile. So I mean, I think it's a mix of quartz. I don't really see any
rutilations in most of them, but okay. So I've got 5 of those, and again, I said you could use however many you want. I'm using 5, and then I'm going to string. These are a little bit smaller than my other ones. This is the most tedious part: is stringing all of these on.
It's like you need a little bead spinner for your itty bitties.
I do, maybe. I don't know. That's like one more thing.
Entertainment. So here we are with you while.
Are you going to sing?
No. But I can banter at you until you're annoyed.
Yeah. So, but let me just tell you what I'm doing with these. I'm stringing on enough to where I have an equal length that I have right here of my accent bead that's going to be on the bottom strand.
Got it.
Oh, and these are golden obsidian that I just love. These are the itty bitty bitty babies. They're like 2 millimeters. They're so tiny. I can't even see the holes, honestly. I'm just kind of finding them.
I can't remember if those were like a machine. Do you remember if those were an Indian cut or not?
I feel like the hole is fairly consistent for an Indian cut.
Yeah, that one might be a machine cut, I think.
They're like pretty consistent. They're so little. I love them so much, though.
I feel like you've taken the little stones and just ran with them. And you're like, this is my thing. This is my jam. This is what we do now.
Which is hilarious because I never used seed beads or anything before this.
I know, but there's something so special about tiny little gemstones.
I know.
They're so.
And then I'm like, whoa, what can I use instead of these? I'm like, oh, seed beads. What's that? Okay. And then, so once I have those in equal length, and you can add more on later if it's not exact. I think they're pretty exact though. Maybe I need one more. I took one off and I'm gonna put it back. So once you have did that, then you're gonna string on your double drill. I'm using the Kabamba Jasper today. Isn't that so fun? That's
wait. I think you swapped a letter. Oh no, it is spelled that. Oh,
is it? I'm dyslexic, so I could be saying it wrong.
No, you definitely said it how it possibly could be said. I've always said it in my head, Kambaba, which is like, which is not different. Actually, that's probably not different than what you just said. But somehow how you said it, I was like, wait, it sounds like a new word.
I made it sound fancy.
How did you say it?
Kabamba.
It must be the place of where this Jasper is found.
What is that song? Oh, it's because I kind of sing La Bamba in my head when I So I used 15 of this size before. I think it ended up being about 2 inches. Where's my teeny roller? Here we go. It's almost 2 inches. So for these 2 side bits, 2 inches. This one I did a little longer. But I'm still going to go by my 15 bead measurement because that's a little bit easier for me to remember. 2, 3.
So you now have both strands in your bead clip. So I'm going to add my second strand to my bead clip.
Yes, I do. That way everything just kind of stays lined up so I can look at it.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. Come on.
So I feel like you do this by math, by counting, and that's 100% not how I'm going to be approaching this because I just forget.
Yeah, that's why I told you about 2 inches.
Cool, I can do that. Because I'm also using like on a regular Hishi bead, so even if I tried to count it, it wouldn't actually accomplish anything.
11, 12. 13, 14, 15. Okay. So after that, I'm going to string my double drills. Another one of my double drills on just the strand that I just added my larger beads to. So just the medium soft flex or beading wire, whatever you're using. I guess I should just say that. The medium on softflex is 0.19 diameter and 0.019, sorry. And that's in inches. The fine is 0.014 in diameter.
Judy, I love you. Just putting it out here that I love you. Do you see Judy's comment?
Yes, I did. I was ignoring it. You can use bigger beads. Use bigger beads. Let me know how it turns out. But still use the fine soft flex for the lower strand. Just have Joey do it for you, Judy. You don't got homework, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost track.
You're able to string these so much faster than I haven't gotten to my double drill.
Really? I feel like this is taking me forever. I keep dropping them. They're too round.
This needs to be. I feel like it's a competition. Like, how slow can Sam? Like, see, I haven't gotten to my second double drill here, but I'm on my way. I need to measure it.
Okay.
I'm only at like 1.5 inches. Is it really 2 inches after the first double drill?
Yeah, it's only 15 of these tiny. Oh, and the second one, we're doing. Let me see. I think it's like 2.5 inches. Yep, 2.5 inches for the second interval. So it's 2, 2.5, 2. Or if you're going by beads that are 3.5 millimeters, it's 15, 20, 15.
Got it.
5, 10. I need 5 more.
I'm just so ready for me to finish this, and I'll crimp it up, and I'll try to put it on, and I'm just gonna have like these wild abstract shapes going along, all along. Oh, Samuel, what did you do?
I'm excited to see what it looks like with larger beads.
I'm so for liking the Hishis.
Those were labradorite Hishi?
Yeah.
I don't think I have those. 15.
Well, these I stole from my stash, but I'm trying to think if I must have had something similar to these before in the shop.
Come on, buddy. Let's go.
So, have y'all seen Shira's beading challenge that's happening? We're on day 5, I believe.
I've seen it. I've been really excited to see what everybody is coming up with.
So basically, for each day, Shira came up with some sort of challenge. So there's like an image, some sort of imagery, and it's like today's like a carnival. What is it? Necklace today? It's carnival something today. And folks are making the projects, and then if you do all 7 days, we're doing a little drawing at the end. So as a little incentive to try to get people beading, get people like excited about beading, and but also you have some. I think it's nice to bead with those sorts of constraints. So like you have to make something that fits this theme.
I have to like just take a day and do all of them.
You're gonna do all 7 in one day.
Probably.
Oh my god.
That's kind of how I work sometimes.
Shar says today's bracelet or earrings. Ooh, cool.
7, 8. So I'm on my 3rd one.
Show off.
This is my project, so it would be a little interesting if you were ahead.
Yeah, my stringing speed right now is a good few seconds per bead minimum. Is it probably the most important part here is that my lengths between the double drills match for the first string?
Yeah, I mean it just kind of depends on what you want. So if the lengths don't match, then all your waves are going to be different sizes.
Interesting. Okay.
So 15.
But I can also adjust the size of my waves potentially too.
Yes. Okay. So once you're done with all of your double drills, we never asked who's beading along with us today.
We sure did not.
Are
We want to know.
Working on anything? We're doing a bad job of keeping up on the comments right now. While I wait for, I'm gonna pause a second. Let me just say I was gonna put another clip on. Oh, here it is. I spent like 20 minutes looking for these clips the other day, and I found them in my tool bin where they were supposed to be that I looked already.
They are so helpful for this sort of project.
Let's see.
Shar is procrastinating. Even if these inspire you to not like to do anything crafty, or even just to get up and like start cooking something, like then I'm happy with these ideas. We want to inspire you to try like just get going, doing something that feels creative. I'm trying to think how many more double drills I need. I've done 2 sections. Okay, I need one more double drill.
I'm reading all Shira's smack talking in the comments. Sorry.
What are they up to in the comments today?
Shira says that I'm very good at ignoring her and Judy. So oh, hey buddy. I can't play right now. We're beading. Do you hear
Rachel,
him?
I sure do. Yeah, Rachel's very busy with the 3 tiny itty bitty beads, Marauder.
That's Oliver. He plays fetch. He brought me a ball. Buddy, go bring it to Sine.
All right, if you're just joining us, we are working on a 2-strand necklace. Rachel, would you want to show the necklace again?
Yes.
And currently we're working on the upper strand.
Yes, I'm about to start the lower strand.
And now, we're going to move on to the lower strand. Lovely. Well, Rachel is. I am trying to keep up, and Rachel's a speed demon with her stringing.
Hey, sweetie, we're not playing right now. Kick the boyfriend out. Didn't know I needed to kick out the cats. They were sleeping.
You need to buy a stroller and send Samay out with both the cats.
Right. Inevitably, Oliver's been sleeping all day, and all of a sudden he wants to play. Stop it. Stop it. All right. So now I'm going to thread on my lower strand. I did these. So the top strand was 2 inches, and I did the bottom one, I think it was 3.25 inches. I was like, I'm going to write this down. Now I'll remember it. Let's see.
Shari, you're asking the question I was curious about.
3.5.
Do the same number of beads have to go between each double drill? And Rachel, the simple answer was yes.
If you want your sides to match, yes. The middle strand, I did more beads. So I did 20 there. So I did 2.5 inches here and 2 inches on each side. Now I'm going to do 3.5 inches of the teeny beads. And you, like I said, you can vary this. It's just going to vary the size of your loops. So this lower strand is a softflex fine. And again, the reason I'm using fine on the lower part is because the medium it's a little bit too strong. It doesn't give the same movement.
Yeah, I mean, and the most movement you'll get is with that soft touch that you have, Rachel.
Yeah. I feel like not as many people have that, so I try to stick to these two.
Yeah, it's used common for that sort of purpose.
For the like very fine. But I think this is fun too because it still has a little bit of structure and I can't see the holes. Come on, beads. All right. I need to have Lori on all of the lives. She's like...
Yeah, Lori, you're on it.
She's on it.
I hear a number and it goes in one ear, out the other, and never to be seen again. Sometimes I'll count like a whole bin of strands. Like, all right, I have this number of strands. I'll start typing the item, and then it's time for me to input the number. I'm like, oh, I could not tell you. Absolutely no clue how many strands I have.
I'm very good with numbers.
Which is why I also have so many sticky notes on my desk. Me trying to write down all of those numbers.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, I finished my top strand.
I've got like 1/2 inch done. Yeah. Diana saying to spear my beads. Yeah, that's gonna go better, I guess. These ones are so little.
I feel like you're a little bit torturing yourself again with your little beads.
I know. I've got to start using bigger beads on other projects.
I think I'm just going to stick with the same he-she's. I'm curious what it looks like with the same beads, but then with the... Oh, god dang it. I didn't put... Oh, Rachel, we lost your overhead. Now it's a very large screen of me.
It crashed again? Crashed last week, too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's from Louisiana.
What?
It's quiet in the shop today because Jesse's I think going camping this weekend, and we are working on the bead box. We just aren't taping the bead box up right now to try to have a little less sound during the class. But the bead box should be going out around like on Monday or Tuesday, which is cool. Probably Tuesday.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I think is August our last summer box? When does summer end, Rachel?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
know.
the greatest with seasons. There we go. All right.
Thought you were so good at numbers.
Oh, you want to know what the last day of August is? Because I could tell you that.
No. I want to know. Oh,
How does knowing when seasons ends have to do with numbers?
I don't know. It's the seasons are a break up of the year in some form. Oh, in September. So okay, we do have one more bead box in September then. In summer. I'm having it. Some of my Indian cuts I actually haven't been able to get on the fine softflex, but most of them I've been able to get on.
This is going to be the longest project in the history of eternity if it's going to take me this long to string these.
No, don't stress about it. This is our chill Friday project right now, so we're not going to stress out over this. I hope this is like some calmness at the end of your week, Rachel. They'll have to like be worried about a million things, just about one necklace.
You know I'm always worried about a million things.
No, I know, which is why I'm like, let's chill. I need it too. I really enjoyed. I'm really glad I'm making today because it's like, it's very, I don't know, it feels very plaintive and nice. Peggy says you need a bead spinner. You'd have to, with a bead spinner, you have to fill it with a lot of beads.
And I don't have that many of these, yeah.
We only have so many of a gemstone itty bitty.
I don't do a whole lot of stringing like this.
Here, I'll do an update on mine while Rachel's working on that.
Yes, so, I want to see what yours
folks
is
can tell me what they think of a labradorite amethyst combo. Here's what the collar is going to look like. What did I say?
Amethyst.
Oops. Sorry, I'm tired.
You've been talking to Shira too much.
Guess so. I got to see Shira this week.
I did see that. I didn't finish my sentence.
Okay, so what do folks think of labradorite and amethyst together? I don't know if I've put them together before, and I really like it. The blue flash goes nicely with the lapis, and then this shape will look something like that, unless I just deviate from what Rachel's doing and keep the strands the same, but add in those. No, I think I want some movement and that. Which means I get to unstring some of my beads. Here we go. Today's class is now going backwards. All right, let's see here. Try to get... So basically, I imagine you do this section here, Rachel, and then I guess you can then you can take on and off beads until it's as you like it. So I guess it's kind of nice. I don't have to like lock in what it's gonna. Well, I can update kind of what it's gonna look like as I go here. It's cool, but I think I want some labs between my copper. How are things on your end, Rachel? Oh, we have Rachel, we lost your overhead, so we can't hear you. But we miss you, Rachel, very much. Hopefully you'll come back to us soon because we can see your hands.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hang on, I need a audio. I don't know what's going on.
It's just an evil technology day.
I know, it's not going well. My computer is not even loading the website at all.
But we still have your
It
overhead
just
if you
like
want me to. I
totally
can just
kicked
show
me
that.
off. That's what I'm on right now.
Yeah.
I unplugged my extra headphones and I can't get my bead strung. All right, we might switch
How
to
is your
different
necklace
beads in a
going?
minute. It's going okay. I feel like because I
You're
made
gonna
fun
change.
of Judy, I'm having trouble. I feel like it's karma coming back to get me. Now I can't get any beads on here. I'm almost wondering if the tip of my wire is mad and I should just cut a new tip. You know, like when you're sewing, you just
And it's kind of
cut the
fraying a
thread.
bit.
Yeah, I don't think that's really a thing with softflex, but
Yeah, I've never experienced that with soft legs.
so we're gonna pretend like that was the problem because now it's going a little better. No. All right. Well, I'm very sad if I have to switch beads. So I'm not gonna be able to see any comp. Why is my internet out?
Don't stress about it. It's all good. We still got you. I don't know what happened, but it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know, something on my computer.
Kimberly is asking, can I put beads in the middle of my copper? Yeah, I could definitely add like some danglies to my little copper pieces here if I wanted to, which I
That would
am
be so fun.
Once I like finish the piece, I want to see if it needs.
I didn't even see you. Oh, you put the copper pieces on there.
Yeah, I went ahead and
Okay.
added the copper to the
So
lower
let's see where
strand.
I'm at.
Yeah, give us a check-in, our lovely teacher.
I said for this 3.5, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm almost to 3, so just a few more beads. Come on, bead gods. Let's shine down on me. Thank you. Anybody else watch Barney a lot? Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Every parent's in the group is a collective groan right now.
I think this is when you have to start. Remember when you said you were going to sing Defying Gravity for us?
No, I thought we said we were gonna do a duet.
That is what you said, but what I say is I'll get you started, and then when it gets really high, you just belt. See, I'll start.
Feel like anybody
Something
wants that
has
in their
changed
headphones.
within me.
Hang on, we're almost to the next part though, so give me 1 second.
Okay.
Is this really what the people want? I can't see the comments, so you're gonna have to tell me.
No one's requesting Wicked other than me, because I want to hear you sing Wicked.
Okay.
I got to hear
So
Rachel
3.5
belt
inches.
Waitress. What do you say?
And I said 3.5 inches, and then we're gonna take our strand and we're gonna go through the next bead. Then, okay, we're still doing okay on time.
Yeah, we're doing
I
fine.
bent my
don't stress.
wire.
If you're curious about the copper pieces that
Okay.
I made for this necklace, Rachel, you can find how to make them in the lace necklace class that Rachel and I did a couple months ago.
Yes. So
that is a
I
very
don't
fun
remember
class.
What did we call it?
It was you
We
call it
called
your
it like a
lace collar.
class.
Yeah, just search lace on the Sam Speech Up YouTube channel, and it should pop up.
And yeah, and then I used check glass daggers.
The clasp was supposed to be a check glass dagger clasp, but then I made the lace.
You made a what?
It ended up being a lace collar clasp. I made it into the lace collar clasp.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Can you hear
remember.
me?
Oh yeah, we use daggers between
Okay.
the copper components, but the piece that I remember, everyone remembers, is the is the copper.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a class on the daggers. It's gonna be so good. And then I was like, well, I came up with this other thing, and I'm really excited about it. So we're gonna do this. I'm very thankful that Sam gives me a lot of leeway when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come up with this class and then completely change it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. It's kind of fun when you kind of start to use. I mean, usually you're challenging yourself. You're like, I kind of want to try using like seagulls or double drills, and I'm like, heck yeah, let's. I'm so curious what you come up with, because it's always during those exploratory time with your design you come up with such cool things to share for the shop.
Yeah. The sea glass classes would be a good one to revisit after the bead box that you just sent out. What is wrong with my computer? I'm like still trying to load it. I may give up. We'll see.
I have a small dilemma I want your opinion on.
Okay.
I didn't really know exactly where to put the copper piece, so I did it randomly, and now it's like off center. So whatever, like if I keep it this way, I'm just gonna have to somehow match it on the other side, which I could attempt to do.
Yeah.
But I also really want
You
it here
you
now.
could measure or count.
I know. I also just like really want it
You
here
want it
now in the
there.
center. I do, but I really don't want to go backwards again.
So, well, the nice thing about clipping it is once you're done stringing the rest of your necklace, you can just undo that part and come back to it.
Oh yeah, I could unstring from this side. It's true.
Yeah.
Or just leave it off center. Little cattywampus, like Shara's commented.
Yeah,
I know. I could
and then you
open up
could
the
like
copper
connect.
hoops, but I don't want to.
You could do it. Oh no, that's not what I was gonna say.
No, Lynn was suggesting it over here. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, what I was gonna say is that I feel like it would be hard to open up the copper loops and reconnect it in another spot just with
Yeah, I think so too.
the way the necklace is. I think that's going to be really difficult, especially like getting in the softflex spine in there. This is a pain. But what I was going to say is you can mirror it on the other side, and you could hang like a chain from either end, and it would be like another cool aspect.
Like a third layer to the necklace.
Tier, yeah. I
Huh.
did think about doing it that way when I was doing this design. I was like, oh, we could come in with like beading string or beading thread, and then like thread.
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as it is for now, and I'm intrigued. I kind of like the idea of adding more to this.
Okay, so this middle wave is going to be 5 inches, and I'm not at 5 inches yet.
I also like kind of want a pendant for this, and I
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that I had wrapped. I'm still on camera. I forgot that I had wrapped this for the live the other day. It would totally work as a pendant for it. Heck yeah!
Oh yeah!
It like matches the lapis perfectly. Heck yeah! All right, let's see where Rachel's at with her itty bitty torture.
I'm doing a little better.
Which section are you on? I can't see.
Like,
oh, you're in the middle
I'm
section.
on the center.
You're moving right along.
Yeah, I am. I've got like 2 more inches to go. I just love these golden obsidian. They're so pretty. Okay. Come on, guys. You guys ever talk to your beads like, come on,
Yep.
you can do it, buddy. Let's go.
Like,
Best
ooh,
friend, let's do this.
why is your hole so small here? Why couldn't you have been drilled a little bit more? Are you singing to your beads?
My computer is telling me no internet. I'm singing to myself. Hey there, I can see the class. Just can't see. Oh, StreamYard's connecting now? Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to keep the audio through my phone just in case my
That's
computer
fine.
decides to poop out again. But my computer should be up.
I do not see you in the lobby of the stream.
No, all right, never mind then.
Did you click enter
I see
studio?
me. I did. Maybe I need to try again. I just wanted to see what everyone was saying.
Rachel likes to be in the know. She does not like to not see the comments.
No, I don't like to not see the comments. I like to know everything, always.
I'm someone who can get overstimulated, so sometimes too many comments, I'm just like, ah! It's like when I get too many text messages at the same time. No one's getting a response until I have the courage.
Oh, so when I send you like 6 messages in a row, that's worse than sending you a big block of text?
No, not necessarily. It's more if like a lot of messages and emails are coming from like at me. I'm like, no, not happening. It's not a great habit, but it is my current habit. It started in college because I would get all like the messages about and emails about random things like during class and be like, go away, and then like totally forget to go back to them. So that's just me and my inability to text back. My roommate's like, why don't you text me back? I'm like, no, I see all your messages, but like I sometimes
that
don't
makes it better.
Like I see all the messages and like often you're just like telling me things, but I'm sorry I didn't send you a response. I'm not a horrible roommate, I promise. I'm better at communicating in person than I am over text message.
All right, I'm almost through this loop. Let's see. All right, I have another ½ inch to go.
Nice. Marianne says she likes my necklace more with the wrapped bead. I have pleased Marianne. I can move forward with my necklace now. I like it too, Marianne. Yeah, it's a lot better.
Now, if you're following the measurements, you should be able to center things.
Measurements? I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
But the general ratio, sort of. I'm also mostly eyeballing it because it's me.
Yeah. But that's also why I had connected my pendant with just a really huge jump ring. So I could like play around with if I wanted to put something there or... All right.
Isn't it lovely? Isn't the idea lovely that all these beads come on a string and then we put them back on a string in new ways?
I hate you.
How else can I torture Rachel right now?
Just the thought of I'm literally just redoing what somebody else had done with these.
The factories like spin.
I've got one more.
They have these fancy spinners that are like these long spinners that they somehow get the strands through. I truly don't know how with these tiny beads.
I got the wire stuck to my flush cutters. These are the flush cutters I need to throw out. All right, so when I finished my strand, I stuck it through the second double drill. And now I'm just stringing on for my third one.
I actually think I like this combo even more than the example because this contrast of the quartz and obsidian is like absolutely stunning. I think it adds a really nice complexity and like if they feel like two different layers.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought we would go for a little bit more fun on this.
Okay, Rachel, you know how I was like a little hesitant on this design? I think the more I do it, like myself, like the more I love it.
Yeah.
And the more I see how what you're doing with it, like I'm like, okay, there's something really cool here.
You were like, maybe you could use bigger beads. I'm like, I'm not restringing this. Like, there's a rhyme and a reason to everything I do, and this time the reason is I'm not redoing it.
Right.
I like how it is. Okay, I really want to get it a little bit further so we can show you how to finish it.
Shari said, watching Rachel struggle, I think I'm just gonna use bugle beads. Here is.
I feel like I don't notice how much I struggle when nobody's watching me. I'm just sitting here like watching my Netflix.
Right, it's a completely different.
Yeah.
So
watching my pottery show.
Marianne, if you're still here, what do you think? Oh, there's it with the pendant. I'm liking it. Lynn, what do you think of my necklace?
Ooh.
Are you a blue person?
Yes.
I feel like you haven't made along with me in a long time.
I know, this is so fun. I appreciate you pushing me to bead more. It's what I need. It's too easy to get wrapped up in everything else.
Wrapped up. Didn't.
No, I was not making a bead pun. No.
Wire wrapping sounds. Okay.
No. Shars, by the way, do you have
now
more
the problem I'm encountering is that there's cat hair on my bead mat.
No, we don't have time for more props today, so the cat hair doesn't exist.
It's like getting in the way. It's like string me.
Shira, I do not believe the pear brios sold out in the Monday sale, so you could comment again for those. They're not on the site yet because Jesse will take a photo of those when he's back in town next week. But I know we have more of I think the two blue colors, the dark blue and the light blue. Shara, do you like these pear brios that I'm working with, or do you like the flat pear brios that have been in the bead boxes? I need to know this. It's very important information. I sometimes think if I just like shop the Shira in mind, like that's how I could just do all the curation for the shop. Be like, ooh, this is a pretty amethyst. Ooh, this is a sparkly labradorite. Like, okay, would Shira like this item? Yes. All right, we should get it for the shop. This is how I should start making all of my bead buying decisions.
What about me?
Yeah, you could have it. You could have a couple if you want, but mostly Shira.
I feel like my taste is probably harder to pin down than Shira's.
You do have more variants. I do have a good. I mean, no, you're good. You always communicate with me like what you like once I stock it, but I think often the times I'm like it's still a surprise to me. I'm like, oh, interesting. Well, I know you like
me too.
I know you like peach moonstones and like mixed moonstone. So like when I saw those fastened nuggets that I showed in the sale yesterday, I was like, Rachel's gonna like these. Did you see those?
Rachel did like them. Rachel's bank account said maybe later. Um,
That is a very fair and wise decision.
what did I
No,
get
string.
last night?
Come
I
on,
got
Labradorite.
something. I got some more of the amethyst double drills because those are so pretty in person, and I kind of wanted to finish the project that we started with them when we did the double drill class, but then at the same time I didn't want to use them all, so I've been like, should I take it apart? I was like, I'm just gonna get some more. Okay, cool. So I've got my last one here. Can we get a finally?
Finally.
Thanks. So I'm gonna have to string that through. And then what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take my clips off and I'm going to pull the top strand until it is centered. So I'm just kind of like pull the beads until it's pretty much centered. That way I just kind of have an even amount on either side. And then I'm going to take my bottom string that's still on the spool and I'm going to put this clip back on here actually on either end of the top string, the medium strand. I'm going to pull the bottom one and you might have to like do a little bit at a time, but basically what I want it to be is I want the end of it to be pretty short. So, you still there, Sam? Did I lose you?
I muted myself so I wouldn't, because I'm making too much noise.
No, it's okay, but with my internet problems, you can't do that.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cause you more anxiety
then I
right
think
now.
that it's me. Then I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to say all this again.
No, you're good.
Okay, so basically, I'm just pulling it down until I'm not gonna have like a ton of waste on the fine strand. Since it is still on the spool, it's easy to do this. There we go. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to clip the end that is still connected to the spool. Now, I'm going to unclip this end and I realize I did not put enough beads on here. So I'm going to come in and do my connecting bit of beads. But you do want to have both strands in the clip so that your medium doesn't move around a ton. You got it more or less centered. And that way we're going to be able to add our beads on the end. So, I don't know how many. I'm like really looking forward to getting to string the quartz again. They're so much bigger.
I was like, in this final segment of Rachel stringing her tiny horror-filling obsidian onto softflex.
You said pour filling?
Horror. I can't say the word horror filling. The more I say the word, the more fake that word sounds.
Anyway. So, if
you're
you're
almost
already
done.
at
You almost
this
did
point, yeah, if you're already at this point, you're going to need a crimp bead. So I'm using 2x2 crimps from softflex, and I'm going to use normal crimping pliers. Not the magic ones, just normal. But I do love the magical crimping pliers.
I was thinking of using the magical ones today, but it feels a little risky in case it doesn't go well.
So the reason why we're not doing the magical ones at this point is because the magical ones are meant for 2 strands of the medium softflex, and here we're not folding over the medium yet. We have the fine and we have the medium. So if you did that, and we're also going to cut off the tail of the fine, if you use the magical ones, there's a chance it may not hold, and then your whole bottom strand will come undone.
Yeah, I'm using fine. So if would the equivalent be like 4 strands of fine? Would that work? Or 3 strands of fine?
Yeah, that would. I'm not an expert on the magical crimping
Yeah, I'm trying to
pliers.
remember what Sarah's recommendation
I
is.
don't know. She said that you can do up to 3 strands of the medium in the crimping plier. So maybe if you had 3 strands of the fine, I don't know. I just wouldn't I wouldn't chance with one of each on this. So, but I'm gonna string both of these through my crimp. And come on, buddy. There we go. And then you want to like push the crimp up to where it's way. Excuse me, sir. I have a cat on my chair. And they're both just like determined to be in my space today. They were both asleep when we started this. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna come in here and crimp.
They said, "Mama, you're trying to bead? No. We want you, please."
They're like, we want dinner.
Feed
right,
us.
so I know my crimping is not the best on this. I might have to take this one off. This is the hardest crimping project I feel like I've ever made. This part right here is so difficult. But if you're having trouble and your crimp ends up looking kind of weird, you can come in with your flat nose and crimp also. And I just tug on them and just make sure they don't go anywhere before I clip. So like really tug. And then I'm gonna put a crimp cover on it. Just the covers don't go on as well when your crimp is kind of wonky, but always test the strength of your crimp before you clip anything. So now I'm going to come in with my crimp cover. Where are they? I thought it would be fun to do the copper this time.
Ooh.
You could also take a couple of these and put them on a couple of your beads in the lower strand to like accent if you wanted. Well, not you because they probably wouldn't fit over those labs, but if you're using tiny beads like me.
Lori, softflex and Beadalon are both totally good, are both great options for beading wire. They're very similar products in that they're like steel cables that are then wrapped in like a plastic nylon type coating that makes it basically kind of last like forever. I definitely find that like softflex often is the preference among especially people who do like mostly stringing. So that's why I carry softflex in the shop, and we have lots more coming in the next couple of days, I believe. But we currently have like softflex crimps on the site, which
does that mean we're gonna do the other class?
Heck yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna let you finish talking. What were you saying, Sam?
I don't remember, but I
interrupted.
finished stringing my project, but now I'm trying to pay attention more so I can see how the heck this thing comes together.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the other side now, and I'm gonna clip off my fine strand. I need to get like these are the worst flush cutters. These are my broken ones, but I'm gonna just clip the. This is the fine strand, not the medium strand I just clipped. And then I'm gonna take my crimp and slide it onto both of those again. It's like a little bit of a finicky crimp project. If you wanted to just crimp them with flat nose pliers here, you could. It's just you're not going to be able to get the crimp cover on. The hardest part is that the strands insist on twisting themselves.
you want to give a quick tutorial on while you're doing that?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm coming in here and I'm trying to keep them Lynn Belmont's words, spread eagle, so that I'm able to get my crimp with my crimping pliers on the back. It makes a divot in it so that when I come in with the front of the crimping pliers, I'm able to fold it over. So I'm basically crushing the crimp and then folding it back in half.
Yeah, so Rachel's crushing.
And the goal,
the
goal is to have the strands on two halves and then crush them together. So then I'm going to come back in here with my cutters. What?
Rachel, I cannot believe you came on the channel and said it again. I can't believe you said it again on the Sam's Bead Shop channel.
Oh, I'm not allowed to say it. I didn't know that we weren't allowed to say it.
I remember when I first heard that, I was like, wait,
anyway.
What did Lynn just say?
What did she write?
I remember when I first heard her say it, I was like, what did Lynn just say?
We're just talking about Chicago, guys. The musical. Anyway, right. So the goal is when you crimp that there shouldn't be any space in between any of it. Everything should be where it goes. Now, I'm going to put these back before I fling them everywhere. Now we are going to put the crimp cover on. I'm not an expert at these, but it's definitely better when you have a correct crimp. Like you've done the crimp correctly, it fits a lot better. So you should be able to. These are open more than the crimp covers I've been using lately. You're gonna slip it over the crimp, and then I try to like pinch it a little bit with my fingers just so that I'm able to like get it to stay when I come in. You know what? We gonna fight crimp cover. No, I'm gonna hold it like this. I'm gonna put it. Are you kidding me? We might pause. We might pause and just give up on the crimp cover. Let's see.
No, we're here supporting you, Rachel. You got this.
Yeah, it's
so yeah. This is
state of it.
I took me way too long to start doing my crimp covers with the crimping pliers, and they work so much better with the round the round part of the crimping plier.
What were you using before?
Oh, flat nose pliers, making my crimp covers all nasty looking. But with the crimping pliers, you use the top part there, which is rounded, and it fits perfectly with the crimp cover.
Yeah, it's still. This is not. I might pull this off later and redo it, but sometimes when I got them and they're kind of gnarled looking, I'll go back in. If they don't look perfect, I'll go back in and intentionally squish the whole thing into like a blob, and then it's like an artistic element. But okay, so here's where we're at. And then one thing that I think is fun when you're doing crimps and you're not quite to the end of design and you've already got a crimp is you can get accenting beads. So I've got like some little sterling silver balls, and I've got these are not the exact same size as my crimps, but you can also just put the crimp covers on the wire as you go as an accent too. Little tip, but I thought it would be fun to put some of the copper things in there. So now at this point, we're just going to string it like we would a regular necklace. I think every fifth bead, I'm going to put one of the little copper ones in, if I can stop dropping them.
You're using the actual crimp bead as your little accent bead, and you're going to then crimp it?
No. These are, so you can use the crimp beads and you can put a crimp cover over them, but these are actual like little copper beads.
Oh, cute.
They're smaller than the crimp, but I just think it's a fun way to pull the crimp as a design element instead of it being strictly for like a structural use.
Right. Sarah Ayler talks a lot about that, of how the softflex wire can be itself can be featured so well as a design element, not just the wire, which is why she likes to expose like the colored wire and sometimes the gray wire, depending on the design, which I think is so interesting. Shower, here's my update. I've got it all strung up and it's all on bead clips now. I'm gonna wait till after class to start crimping because I'm afraid if I start crimping now, I will mess it all up, and I don't want to restring it. So I'm leaving it like this and just staring at it for now, and I'm very pleased. I did realize I could have used a copper piece to connect the pendant itself, but we are beyond that stage now, so this is what it shall be.
All right. So once you're starting to get to the end of this, you'll kind of see if your strand was long enough. Mine, I had cut 20 inches, so I should be good to just go ahead and put a clasp on. One little thing I do like to do a lot of the time when I'm crimping is instead of immediately connecting my clasp, and I'm probably gonna just immediately connect my clasp on this one, I'm gonna measure it first, but instead of immediately connecting my clasp, I'll sometimes cut a piece of my chain. Like for this one, I would cut just like 1 or 2 loops and I just crimp that on. And that way, if I decide to change the clasp or like add something else onto it, I don't have to like cut my clasp off or cut the loop. Like I've always got another loop I can connect things to. So yeah, I would just cut like one of this little chain and crimp it on there. And I also try to do that as well because I don't like to crimp on jump rings because I feel like jump rings is just a little bit easier, especially when you're using fine soft flex. This is medium, so it's not as bad, but like with the fine soft flex, I'm always worried that the jump ring is gonna like open, it'll slip out, and if you have the little loop on here, then you don't have to worry about it as much.
Yeah, any sort of like soldered ring would work well for that.
Yeah, soldered chain.
Like a solder, because there's soldered jump rings or solder. You could like use just like a some sort of loop connector, charm piece. Pretty much anything that is soldered shut would work for that. That's a smart tip.
I feel like I also showed you, yeah, I think it was the double drill earring class where I showed you how I crimp without crimping to anything. So I crimp just to have a loop and then I connect it later.
Crimp just to have a loop.
I think it was the earrings. Yeah, remember we wrapped it around some pliers and then so I did my crimp and I didn't have it connected directly to anything.
Oh, so you made a loop, so
it was the double drilled earrings.
I don't remember that,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it makes sense. You make the loops, and it's big enough so that you can then attach something to it later. Am I getting you right? Sort of right?
Yeah. Okay. What time is it? One more. Okay. Cool. So instead of adding my accent bead on this side, I'm going to go ahead and add my crimp. Where did they go? Now, you could use the magical crimping pliers for this top bit here if you wanted, which I will show. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to show it. We'll do another project because here's the reason why I like to do it here is because this, the tail on this is, or this, the softflex medium is not going to fit again through this bead. And so if I use the magical crimping pliers, then I'd have to cut like extra close. So you wouldn't be able to see a tail. And one thing I like about the crimp covers is that they kind of cover up the little tail once you cut it. So I've got my crimp bead on here. I threaded on the loop of my toggle clasp, and you can also use, if you wanted, wire guardians. This clasp is not sharp, so I'm not really worried about it. But a wire guardian would be really pretty here just to keep everything copper. But I think we're gonna be okay. Come on, buddy. Let's get through this get you through those crimp.
I find the copper crimps harder to use because I think the walls are thicker.
You know, I was kind of noticing that. I usually use the silver ones, and I'm like, why is this so?
It is possible, but I definitely
they're just more generous. The material.
Yeah, when I was trying to get multiple strands of medium through, I remember with Sarah, I had trouble with the copper crimp tubes.
So I'm coming in with my crimp pliers, and I'm just getting the back, and hopefully I got it. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to come in with the front of my crimp pliers and squish it. You have to say it like that. Otherwise, it doesn't work as well.
Squish it.
And then I'm going to, yep, like that. I'm going to spread them, and then I'm going to come in with my my cutters and cut it real close. And then when I put the crimp cover on, you're not even going to be able to see the tail of that wire. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to close it a little bit before I try to put it on there. Maybe that will be better. There we go. Have less frustration this way. Unless I closed it too much, and then we'll just cry.
This collective bead cry party. That's okay.
Yes. All day, every day. So...
Lori's asking how long that section between the where the two strands came together and the clasp is.
Okay, so because I cut my strand, so it's really going to be up to you. This is the strand that I cut at the beginning that I cut 20 inches long. So I will tell you exactly how long this is. And if I centered it properly, they should be the same on both sides. Let's see. It is about 4 inches. So once I've got this side crimped down, it should hopefully be about 4 inches. And I might cut it because it looks like I did not get it centered perfectly. But that's okay. So it's really up to you how long you want it. I didn't want to do an extender chain on this necklace, but I know a lot of people don't like this necklace. Is probably going to be at about 19 inches. I know a lot of people like longer necklaces. So it's really going to be up to you when you cut the first bit of the medium. Like I was saying at the beginning, that you got to cut based on how long you want the necklace to be. The center part kind of frames in front of you perfectly the way I have it measured out. But the back part is really where it will vary. Oh, I need one here. Okay. How many times did I do this? No. One, two, three, 4, 5. I feel like a bead spinner would be really good because then it would be truly random instead of me going, no, we're going to make this kind of random with which beads. Because all my mixed quartz are different colors, so it's like I'm drawn to put all the colored ones in each section, but in reality, like you would get a lot more clear ones.
And these are like the sorts of details that
so excited to be using some of these up because I definitely went. Yeah, nobody else is gonna think about it, just me. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I love how you got the randomness of the pattern of your mixed quartz there.
And you're like, I know, I overthought it.
All right, let's see. Got 2 more times of that. 1, 2, 3. I kind of wanted to use the other mixed quartz that you had that were faceted, but I used most of them on a different necklace. So
yeah, you need about a strand worth, it seems, for this design.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on what you're using. You could also use seed beads for this if you wanted.
I know, but there's something about the gemstones.
I wonder what
that
Danielle is
make it
using. Is she
stand out.
making it with us? She said she was making with us, but she didn't say if she was making this with us.
Danielle's a busy lady. She's probably got a project up her sleeve that she's working on.
Okay. So now I'm gonna thread my crimp on for my clasp. We're in the home stretch. I'm so excited.
Is Samay gonna model
Finally
for you?
done stringing all those golden obsidians. He might. He's sitting on the couch over here. I'll ask him.
So do you prefer him modeling your pieces over you testing out your pieces?
I have a fairly large bust. So I feel like, and it's larger than standard, I feel like. So I like to see things on both him and me, because on him, it's kind of like seeing them on a hanger. And on me, it's like seeing it on someone with really big boobs. So
Love ya.
it's like opposite ends of the spectrum, but it's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it helps me see how things are gonna lay for sure. Because obviously, well, I mean, I guess I could wear every piece of jewelry I made, but I make a lot, and that would be a lot of jewelry to wear. Hey, buddy. Just licked my foot. Must mean it's dinner time. All right, I'm gonna put this last crimp cover on, babe. Babe.
Samay! Samay!
You can't. You're in my headphones. You're just hurting my ears. You can't. Give me 1 second. I'm just not saying it very loud. I'll throw something over there, like candy or something. Let's see if I have any mints on my table.
The buttermints to lure Samay.
They're a really good projectile. They fly really well. You know, in addition to like eating them.
They're very addicting.
Okay. The cover is not going so well for me today. Oh no. All right. Well, that crimp cover and I are gonna fight later, but for now, this is how the necklace is. Babe,
Let's see. Wait, can we see it
will
on the
you try
overhead
this on
first?
for me, please? Please. On the class, like I'm gonna put you on the class. Okay.
Oh, we don't
No.
actually have your overhead, Rachel. Anyway, I mean, we don't have your face camera.
What?
Actually, we don't have your face camera.
I know. I can flip the camera around.
That's okay. I just realized we can't even do that easily. But it's very pretty. I love this design.
I can flip it around on me,
told
but here, I'm gonna do it on me. Let's see, camera. Oops, that was not the button we wanted. It's 2 camera buttons, and let's see.
Under settings, I think. Rachel, you're a black square. Hopefully she comes back. I think we lost Rachel again. This is the peak. Today's class is the peekaboo of Rachel. Here's my piece again. I still haven't finished it. I'm too scared to do it on camera because I will. If I don't pay attention, I'll mess up my grips. Okay, we got Rachel. Oh, and Rachel's gone. Well, in case we'll see if she comes back. We're a little overtime anyway. But in case, she's back. Maybe. Rachel! You scared me over here.
What on earth just happened? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's so pretty on you.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
love it. The dark colors really stand out also really nicely.
So you could make
That's
loops
beautiful.
longer if you wanted. You could make them shorter. You could, I'm sure you could find a way to like connect them if you wanted to.
Oh, that's just a lovely piece. I love this is such a great it's like it completes two different ideas. Like we want to use double drills, but also play around with like multi-string necklaces because some
Yeah.
optics not everyone not everyone does them. So I love that you've kind of brought those two together in such a lovely way. It's a lovely piece. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
sharing this with us
Yes,
today. I
thanks
really
for
appreciate it.
everyone for staying a little late today and dealing with my
Yeah,
internet issues.
it's all good. Thanks for the design. And I hope folks get
Yeah,
inspired to make it. If you make it,
I'm
share it in
so
the Jet Chat
excited.
group,
Yeah.
and don't forget to join in on the our
Yeah, I
7 day
want to see a
challenge.
picture of yours. Yes,
Of
join in
mine.
on the 7 day challenge. Yeah, take a picture because I'm seeing it on my tiny, tiny screen.
Okay. Well, I can make it bigger for a second. I haven't finished it yet.
It's so pretty.
I'm kind of obsessed. I love your design.
I love the labradorite with it. It's so pretty.
I'm obsessed.
Lapis.
So I gotta go finish this. Rachel and I are gonna sign off. We hope
Yes, thanks everyone for being here.
everyone have a lovely, lovely weekend, and happy beading. Bye, everyone.